so we all know how to get to this little guy. So we'll do math first. So you're just gonna click into your math. Of course, okay. And then go up here to settings. So your little person in the corner, you're gonna go to settings. And then just scroll down, and at the bottom it says import. Mine says more because I imported one last year. You say import Google Classroom, and then you click whatever room you want. And okay, this is the one. So then this is the one that I want to connect my math to. I click it. I can select the program.
Can you hang on 1 minute? I had to click, and it's just giving me the warning for Sabbath, the like collecting data and email addresses and all of that. We're to accept that and to allow that?
Yeah, accept it and allow it.
Okay.
Yeah, so you might get a warning message that I didn't get because I've already connected the class. So just accept any warning thing, and then click the class that you want to connect to, and then you click the program. So we want the Math 2020, and you can do, like, I have put all my classes in one, so I was going to put both ReadyGen and Math into this one, so I can click the ReadyGen as well for Kinder, and then just say import class, and once it does it, it should be connected. I was like trying to run through this all earlier today, and Pearson Sabbath was like not having anything. So we'll see if it's working. There we go. So then you just click finish and do classes. And so then when you go up here to classes, you should see the class that you connected. Now you don't really need to do anything here. I played around a little bit with it. You can make like groups. So the only thing is, I guess this is the step I forgot, is that when your students try to do the first activity that you attach to your Google Classroom, they will need to connect to it. So what I did last year was I actually went in as each of my students and connected them myself, since we know their passwords and their usernames, just to make it easy. But I'm pretty sure it's like a 2-click situation where they just have to say like accept, and they might have to put their username and password in again. But once they're connected the first time, they don't have to connect again.
Oh, do they connect? Does it tell them to connect when they click on the assignment in Google Classroom?
Yeah. So the first time you like assign something and they open it up, it's going to say like connect me, and you'll do it. I can.
Goes to with the Sabbath realize? Sabbath?
Yeah.
Yeah, here says this will allow Sabbath realize too, but receive notification about your Google Classroom data.
Yeah, so you just accept yes, because the school district has approved that we can connect them.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
What I have to do is take all the information that
thank you.
Data, Google Classroom, and send it over here.
And they show the like a classroom number, then I have to click there.
Yep, click whatever your classroom is that you want it. So if you only have one room, just click it in there. Okay. If you're keeping like a math room and an ELA room.
Okay, thank you.
Attach it to whatever room you want. Okay, so then we're back here just at our regular one. You'll click in. So now both my math and ELA, I don't think ELA is as easy for the students to use as the math is. The math is like very nice. So you'll just go down to, we'll do topic 1 and go into it. We'll go to 1-1. And then you'll see the little like assign button. So wherever you see interactive is where they can actually do it on the computer. If you assign like this one, where it says student addition practice, that one's just like the paper, like they can't do anything to this. So you don't want to assign that one because then there's nothing they can do with it. But if you assign the one below, so the interactive one, which is exactly the same, they can actually manipulate things on the page that then they submit to you, and you can see all the work that they did. So if you go into this one.
Do they need any password or anything from us, or no, they can go?
No, it'll just be their school district password that they have to connect to with the first time. And then once they're connected into the classroom, they don't have to re-enter anymore.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So like this one, it's not like super user friendly because someone has to read them the directions down below.
Mm-hmm.
But then
Just
they can click like the thing over here and like use it. So how we assign it is.
Can you go back a second? Was that the stamp that you used?
Yeah. So we were in interactive addition practice study. So they have all these tools on the side that like, so if you wanted to do this in your classroom, right, you could share your screen like I am, and we could do it all together as a class. They wouldn't be able to actually do anything, but they can see your screen. And so they have all the tools, like you can write on here. And then if you press the back button, it'll just get rid of what you just did. They have this stamps, which has like a bunch of different things on it. For that, I haven't played around with these, but those are mostly the ones that they'll use, and then the pointer to go for it. So we'll go back and I'll show you how to assign. So you just click we'll go down to what we were doing, the assign button. And then, so whatever you title it here is what it will show up in your Google Classroom as. So if you want to make it like I used to do like Monday, you know, so they knew it was like Monday's work. Monday math worksheet. And then you click the date that you want it to show up in their Google Classroom. You click a due date if you want everything due by Friday, or you want everything due like that day. You can put instructions in. I think it's pretty pointless because our kindergartners can't read. And then you can either put in the classroom, the whole class, or once your students were logged in, you could put in one student's name, if that makes sense. So like say you have some kids that already know how to count to 5 and don't need to sit there and do worksheets that are 1 through 5. You could give them worksheets that are higher to do for the work, or like you could repeat kids doing the lower worksheets if they needed more like additional work on it. And then you just click. So I'm going to do.
I would use that for like, last year I used that for like the kids who spoke Spanish. I would assign the Spanish one.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, so if you go all the way down, you have them all in Spanish. So you can assign once your kids are connected, you could group them in your like ELLs and your Spanish speakers and assign them all the Spanish work. So if their parents could help them, you could assign them both if you want. So then I assigned it, I press it, so I will show you my classroom. Of course, it's in my wrong one. So then when you go to your classroom, you go to your classwork, and it should show up. There it is. So then they would click it, and they would click into here, and it would take them over to the worksheet.
Can you assign the videos too?
Yep, anything that says assign on it, you can assign. So you can assign the videos, you can assign the solve and share.
So if somebody's absent, you could assign the video and they would have access.
Yep, yeah, or just like assign it just, if they want to watch it again.
Right.
or that way their parents know what they're doing. You can assign the quick checks. What I like about the quick checks is you can also put like a remediation date that they would have to do it like again. So like say if they didn't pass it, then you could be like, okay, they need to do some more work. Let's have them do this again next week to check if they actually got it yet. But anything that has the assign button, just double check, because I'm pretty sure everything has the assign button, but a lot of it, unless it has like see how this one, the icon is just like the paper. See, it's just the paper. That's not going to be like a digital tool for them to use. That's just going to be like the worksheet. But where it has like usually says interactive, or it has a little picture, is the ones that they can actually like manipulate and do work on. You can assign all of that. There's also usually, not on all of them, but some of them have games that you can assign. Like some of the topics will have games, or
And can we customize also?
the games, or just like who gets what?
Lessons.
The lessons?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you can customize it by who you give it to or what part of the lessons you pass out, and you don't have to give everybody, like say some kids need more work and you want to give them the solve and share, the quick check, and the the worksheet. You could give some kids all of that, whereas Sarah knows it and just needs to do the quick check. You could differentiate it that way.
Yeah, thank you.
So like here, I guess in first grade there were more games. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. And the same goes for, we'll go back and go to ReadyGen. I think the best thing about ReadyGen is that you can share the books. So the kids could have the books for them to read like on their own. Other than that, it's like really finicky, I think. But it's just exactly the same thing. You just go in. Oh, ReadyGen has games, so you could assign these games to them. I've never played them.
Oh, I have a question on,
Yeah.
this spring when I would try like to assign a text out of ReadyGen, like some of the texts are like long, like they have a lot of stories.
Yeah.
And so how do you like just bookmark one story? Like I couldn't figure that out.
Like when they're in the like collections, like
instead of just assigning the whole collection.
That's a good question. I'll look into it and see if I can figure it out. It might just be one of those like annoying things that we can't do.
You can't do it. I couldn't figure it. I played around with that bookmark thing and I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought, thank you.
Really, that's just like would use the book because this like readers and writers journal, I don't know. It's kind of ridiculous in the first place as a
but I have different than your screen. I didn't see my little pip on my screen.
Are you in the ReadyGen one?
Yeah, I'm in ReadyGen. I'm practicing with you.
Okay. You have to go all the way. It's of course like 5,000 clicks in. So you go into Unit 1 and then Module A, and then it should be right there.
Yeah.
What might be nice is you can't assign these. Never mind, these are not fun. I was hoping those would be resources we could like assign to parents to print if they had a printer. But yeah, ReadyGen is really much just like you can assign the text to the kids so they could look at it when you're not in class. And that's really the only benefit I have like that I could see from ReadyGen, because otherwise it's like too finicky. But that's pretty much it. Unless everyone...
do you know if they can write on the writers workbook?
They can. We can. I'll open it and show you. It's just like very finicky. Like it just doesn't, it's not as nice as you can see as the like math. Like they don't have the interactive page. This is new. So maybe you open that and it will change. Oh, there we go. So you could assign this. They would have to click that little blue button, which would be another step. And then they could add in, you know, but then it's not, I find like writing on the computer isn't the same as actually writing. So I think it's kind of a little funny. So I could show you, do you guys want me to go in as a kid and show you the math lesson?
Excuse me for interrupting
Yeah.
you. So on that page that we're looking at, can they do the top part or they can't?
I guess not, because that's all that came up. When I pressed that open activity, that's all that came up. So they can't do that matching part, which would be the part that I think would be more useful.
Correct.
As an interactive page, but we don't do that. We don't make those decisions. So like here, yeah, like they can't even draw the picture. They're just writing the name of little Pip, which once again, they're writing on a computer, which doesn't make sense. So that's why I don't really like the ReadyGen, but the math is like really good. Would you guys like me to go in as a student and show the student side of it?
Yes, please.
Okay. Just give me a second.
They have to log in like a philasd.org and then go and put their password and ID and then open that.
Yeah, so they just need to get into the Google Classroom. So I'll show you, because we'll go through the process of them adding, like being added to the Savvis portal. I'm just trying to think of one of my students' names so I can get their ID number.
Elle, it looks like both of my classes linked to mathematics, reading and math, and not to my homeroom. Can you disconnect the class once you do that and then reconnect it?
Yeah, you should be able to just go into class settings.
Thank you.
If you go into class settings, see down here? Can you see my screen still?
I can still see your screen. So if you said go into class settings.
So if you're up in your Realize and you click classes.
Yes.
And then you find the class that you put in, hit class settings, go down to the bottom, and then you can click, but you can't. There has to be a way. I will find the way, but I don't know.
No worries. Thank you. I'm sorry.
It might be
I hit it to homeroom.
Yeah, it might be in the main settings.
Okay.
With your person, but I can help you after this.
No problem. Thank you so much.
No problem.
But it says like I would like to import later on. Says I would like to import later.
Letter?
Like a later on.
Later on?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can you could say like you don't want to do it right now. Or you can just say like do it right now.
Okay.
That's fun.
View in Google. Okay.
I was like, I know I put everyone's passwords in. It's okay. I know this family pretty well. They won't be mad at me. Okay, so just continue. Student. Okay, so then he would come in here. He sees me. Got it. They go into their classwork. Oh, but I didn't set it to show until tomorrow. So let me go into mine and change it so we can see it. I can do that here or there. So here's my assignment that I assigned yesterday. Blah. I should be able to change it. I hate when it does this. Okay. We're just going to assign a new thing so I don't have to do this. You can change it. You can change it in Google Classroom. You can go into your classroom and change the date that it shows up in there, and it'll change in Savage. So we'll just go in. We'll assign lesson 2.
Yeah, it's fun actually.
We'll assign this, and we'll assign it for right now. This is the first. Fine. Okay. So it's pretty automatic. I have to remember what tab I'm in. There we go. Okay, so we're back into Eric's page. Got it. So now he sees it. There it is. There's the thing I just assigned. It's literally like happens right away. You click it. Take me away now. So this is how what's going to show up the first time that they log into Pearson. So you just have to say, yes, use my account. Yes, it's going to use all my data. And then he's there. So then they can choose their language and then pick a person and pick a background and you get to go, which is kind of excessive, but so then here he is. Here's the assigned work. So let me go back into it because what should happen is it should just open up the page, unless I'm wrong. Yeah, so it's going to open up what he's doing, and you can, so he'd click here, and it will open eventually. All right, and then, you know, either, so we're circling the matching things that have the same number, right? So, yay, this one and this one, and this one and this one. And then at the end, they would just click turn in. And then once he clicks turn in, you can, then he's done. It says turned in here. I guess they can attach work too if they need to like take a picture of something. We can attach it, and then the works, and then it also says completed. And then on our end as teachers, so I would go in. Here's my class now. There you go back. I go up to classes, click in my classes, and here we go. Now we see one of my 6 students completed the assignment. I can click it. View student status will show me that only Eric is completed. Don't know why it says it still needs, oh, might still need to connect for ELA. And so you can review it. Am I going too fast? That was very fast, I'm sorry. And then you can see exactly what he drew on the screen. Go through all the pages, even though we didn't do all the pages. And then you can exit out. And those ones, the worksheets don't give grades because they're just the worksheet, but like the quick checks will give a grade. And then over here, you can also like change the grade on it. So if you go in and you're going to grade it on a different scale than like Pearson has decided how they're grading the quick checks, you can change it out to match whatever you want it to be.
Where
And
did you say you can change it?
so it would come up like next to here. So I could assign a quick check just so we can see it, because otherwise I'm just explaining it without showing you. So let me go back into math. And go in. So we'll assign this quick check. And now I can just assign it to Eric, because Eric is connected, so I can just add him to it. And we'll assign it for today, to today. And see, it already puts this remediation date for a week out from when you did it to begin with. You can't cancel it, or sorry, you can. You just click this box where it says automatically assign remediation. So if you click it, it automatically will send the kid like more work to do based off of like if they don't pass that quick check. So it would give them like review work to do for them to be able to check, catch up, and then on the 8th, hopefully pass the quick check again. So we'll say assign. All right, now I gotta find, did I close out Eric? I did. Sorry, guys.
Now, Ellen, Google Classroom, when they finish that assignment, does it check it off that they finished it, or do they have to go in and say mark is done as well?
In Google Classroom, let's look and see. It does not like that space at the end. I'm pretty sure it marks and says that they completed it, but let's just double check. So we'll look in here. We have this one. So it says turned in. Yep. And so we're going to go into the quick check. I don't know why it gives a 10-second countdown to entering Sabbath, but it does. So we'll go in once again. So if you assigned like multiple things, they would see like the, you know, the video, then the worksheet, and then the quick check. So we click it. So this one, it's actually nice because it gives audio.
Which shows 2 cats.
Which I think is very, very nice, because then the kids can actually do it independently.
That's good one, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so they go through. We're just going to click random answers. And then they can review their questions if they want, or they just click submit test. And they get a little right away what they got right or wrong. And like if they're parents with them, I guess they can like view the question that they got wrong and talk about it. So then I went back. So now look, it's now because it already graded it and said that they got more than, they only got 2 right out of the 5. They already have additional practice. So it already assigned them like another look to redo it. So then on my side, I'll keep this open in case we go back. We go back into classes, back into your class, and now we have that quick check here. And then once again, it says view student status. We're gonna click him. We're gonna review it. This one doesn't do it. Maybe it's not in the quick checks, but the tests that you can reassign the points to. But like if you sync it with Google, it'll go over to Google, but you can change it in your Google Classroom. I think that's what I did mostly, is just I had to look at it, and then like in Google Classroom, I changed the grades. So if we go over, we go back into mine, and then we'll see grades. And you'll have the grades. So here's the interactive. It doesn't score interactive. So Google automatically gives that worksheet like 100 points because that's their like default. So you can go in and say they got 100 out of 100 because they completed it. And then you can go in here and change these points based off of what your point system is. I was wrong. You can't change it in Savvis, but you can look through the answers and like grade it yourself, if that makes sense. And that's any other questions or things that I can show you guys. I'm trying to think.
Very helpful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You can also, I think, so here, this is the one, you can change it for the little kids, and instead of being this complicated viewpoint, you can make it this early learning theme, which I think helps a lot because it's a little bit easier for them to see. So that's just in your class settings. Once you're in the classes section, you clicked on your class. In class settings, you just change it and hit save. And then we'll go look at Eric's, and it should have changed over for him. Maybe he needs to log out and go back in. Yeah, so now it's a little bit easier for them. There's not so much stuff on the screen for them to look at, and it's just exactly what you want them to do. They click it and go into the activity. Yeah. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and see if there's any other questions or anything like that. Good?
Yep.
I'm gonna stop recording as well, if I can figure that out. Here we go.